Paris, that's Quirky, and after nice and chilled out Canada, we head now to Mexico, one of the more interesting tracks here on the schedule with the second section, a long first straight, and well, a lot of opportunities to overtake, really Quirky.
Yeah, long a technical last sector as well. Um, Probably catch a lot of drivers out here. So we are just waiting for two more people to load in. Now one more. God damn it, Tico. Ugh.
Well, there we go. He was the last person to choose his tyres for qualifying in the race, so everyone should be loading into the session now. As always, an 18-minute qualifying, followed by the 50% race here. We had a wet qualifying last time around. This time around, it is nice and dry.
Yes, it is, as we have started.
There we go.
The
I had a little bug there saying lap 0 out of 35. I was going, wait, what?
Oh yeah, we're starting already, but yeah. We're here, we're in Mexico! Where are the chimichangas at? Who's got bringing the tacos? I've got the tequila. And
God, tell you what though, I actually had I had nachos for dinner, or not last night, the night before.
oh,
Pretty good, not gonna lie, but yeah. We are heading here to Mexico City to a track that actually has a fair bit of history with F1 racing, as first few cars start to drive out here onto the Autodromo Armando Rodriguez, as it looks like the first one out, I would presume, is a Timmy. Yeah. Oh no,
No,
Cato
Cadillac.
actually out early.
Kata, followed by High, I think followed by one of the Red Bulls there. Not sure which one. We'll find a second. Will be Basink, our second place getter from Canada.
Yeah, and he'll be looking to try and add to his pretty good tally so far this weekend, as a few more cars start to head out here. A lot of cars are actually going out very early here to try and get a lap time dealt
What?
with. As Kata's had a bit of a moment there. His I think he
Decent.
might not, yeah, maybe a bit of desync, or maybe just losing control of the car. But yeah, very odd for the Singaporean, as he will no longer have track position. He now has to deal with, I believe, who is Alpha in front of him?
High. It's
High, yes, no. But High, it can be a speedy driver, so that shouldn't really be too much of an issue for Qatar, as the cars who want to go out early have now all headed out, apart from one Haas, who heads out now. And we'll start to see some lap times being posted in about minute 40-ish, as High is the first one to begin his flyers.
right aboard with him. He has got the Haas out in front of him. I'm not sure whether it is money or focus. We'll see in a moment. He does go a bit wide there at the exit of turn 3 there. Does manage to get a purple sector. Surprisingly, he is the first driver, but take you for a lap as we go hard into the middle of sector 2, and now this is my favorite part, the quick corners.
Yeah, you need to have a lot of confidence to go around these corners that are full tilt. The first one you normally have flat out, but the second one, depending on your setup, you normally should lift off on the first one before getting back onto the gas for the second, but well, at the very least, he's driving somewhat well here. He's a 106 as he gets through the stadium hairpin. Now out of the same sector proper here. Into the final quarter, only has a Haas to deal with, but that Haas is aborting, I think, and well, he doesn't go to the pit. But yeah, he will be the first one across the line at 118. Kata easily beats that with 116. Then Bassick as well follows it up nicely with a 117.8. Now the next car to come across, I believe, will be Midnight, who posts a 120.1. We've got a Haas following up here. Focus, who was with the Alfa Romeo lineup last time around. He'll come through to beat Midnight with a 120.08. Next one's due through will be Regnor, 120. And Sink Senpai just comes out of the woodwork to get a 116.8. One of the replacements he gets.
do have Tico on his out lap as well. Panda as well on his flying lap now is behind a bit of traffic here. Let's go through. I've got to get a track limits violation there.
Yeah, very lucky to not cop it there as he comes through to the end of sector 2, and it's not purple as a car that goes past. I believe that was Qatar as and looking to try and speed things up, coming through the stadium sector, goes through there nicely into the final 2 corners. The sharp, well, nearly 9-degree corner out of stadium and a long right-hander. Be good enough for a 117.4.
And we'll take him up into 3rd. May see more laps from him yet as we go forward with Tico on his flying lap. He's in sector 1. So, well, he does 28.6 for his first sector. Bit of a jiggling there. Go through now into the double right-hander.
Regnall. Regnall's out here.
He's out, but he did post a time, so his teammate Tico.
But look where he's lost it. He's lost it just past stadium, so that's going to compromise a fair few drivers here. So his car's gone out now, but I'd probably say a few drivers have probably lost a bit of time. As Tico actually posts a purple second sector here. He's going great guns here, Tico. Might just pull off a bit of upset if he can post a very competitive time here. Makes it through the final few corners, but looks like he had a bit of a tough time in sector 1 because he's going to go for a 118.4.
Only take him into 9th here. Still have both the McLarens to do their outlaps, which they are doing now. Finn and Darkly on their outlaps now. We still have Baz, Monet, and Jackson to post a time, as well as Timmy and nothing but Tilt.
And it looks like on the Red Bulls are having an issue here. That being Formal, very slow through the second sector. Has to be careful of Dover right behind him here. Should just pull off to the side. Yep, lets Dover through, who actually has a 3rd fastest lap here, 117.2. So he's really kicking up the speed here, Dover. But he's been hit for a track violation, so he'll be heading back into the pits. Unless this is a warm-up lap, but
I think Formal may have ran out of fuel and he's trying to conserve it.
Yeah.
But we'll head aboard with Flying Finn, who's on his fast lap, but behind Focus there. He should be on his flying lap. He should be on his in lap here. We'll have to pull over when he's got the chance. He does go through the start of that second sector into the left and then the right-hander into the double right-hander now. Bassig is crashed out.
Oh, DNF.
At the almost at the end of the start-finish straight here.
I think he was just warming up his tyres, but he lost control, and yeah, he's binned it into the wall, looks like, as...
the Mick Schumacher.
Oh, that is... Do hate to see it as Flying Finn. Surprisingly didn't get hit with track limits there, but he still continues on into the stadium with opportunity to post a lap time here. Hasn't caught up to the Haas in front of him, so... yeah, that won't pose an issue for Finn as he goes to the final corner, takes a fair chunk of that curve. A little bit of instability there, but he's able to quickly recover. He posts a top 5 time, though.
Yeah.
This is not a bad lap.
It is not, and, well, who else? His teammates going for a second flying lap. I think he had his first flying lap.
I think Baz is on his flyer as well.
He is. He's just started it. Just going into that first sector now, dealing with that chicane as he can into the DRS zone. Opening up that rear wing, getting that extra speed as we hard break into the chicane here, trying not to get too much curve and get that track limit violation into the double right-hander. And now, how well will he deal with that middle to end of the second sector? So we have a couple of yellow flags for both the Haas's. I think just going slowly because they've run out of fuel. Baz taking that line pretty good.
Oh!
Does get the track limit violation though, so may have to go for a second one. We'll slow down, probably try and conserve some fuel. Go back into the pit lane and maybe go for another time here.
Well, he lets the McLaren past him here. I think a pit lane is more than likely going to be possible for him here as oh, who was that?
Darkly!
That is a huge lap time for him there, as Baz will go again. Yeah, Darkly just comes out of nowhere to get a 116.7 on.
Absolutely amazing stuff here.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if anyone else is looking to finish off a lap here. I think Jackson is getting close. Oh, sorry, that's Sing Senpai going for his second flyer, I think. But he's hit a track limits violation, so that time will be worth diddly. That's a very unfortunate for him there, as well as... Well, Jackson's definitely on his flyer now, just getting to the end of the second sector. He goes purple through there, so every chance he can upset the current leaders as he makes his way into the stadium. The Red Bull front has to be a little bit wary of him now, but won't cause too many issues as he makes it through the final few corners. Let's see what time he puts up here. Might just be good enough for a pole,
Yes,
and it is a 115.4. Dominant stuff from Jackson, beating out Darkly by well over a second.
1.3 second lead. Now we'll go back into Baz, who's now just going through the end of the third sector here. Where's his turn going to be? As to go through the 90-degree
would be good as well.
Long sweeper is looking very good. Is it going to be enough to beat
second?
Jackson? No, he's not. Just 0.9 tenths off. Looks like Finn's going for another lap here. Another try.
He's on his out lap at the moment. I think Andy Roo was just making his way through that very tight section between corners about 4 and 7.
Oh, yeah.
As we have a yellow flag here, I think. Well, 2 yellow flags for both Ferraris there, both having a little excursion onto the grass. As just looking to see if anyone might be finishing up a lap here. Doesn't really look like it here.
Dover's on the flyer, but
he's a bit far away, yeah. So
500ths off his best sector, so sector 1.
Formal having to go into the pits after getting track limits violations there. So next one across the line should be Andy Roo, but he's heading into the pits as well. I think he's popped track limits as well. So this is his teammate, nothing but tilt, so they can't improve just yet. Him on the Alphas now, about to finish up, that being Midnight, but he's heading into the pit lane as well. A lot of cars being caught out here by track violations. So, yeah, that's very unfortunate. High has started a fastest lap. One of the McLarens will just pass him on. That is Finn getting his fastest. Meanwhile, for Dover, well, he's hit track violations as well. It's a 123.6, however, so looks like he'll be going for a fast lap here.
Right aboard with Finn as he takes his fast lap, as looks like one of the Renaults has pulled over. Probably just to allow
Senpai.
No,
he spun it, looks like.
Yeah, he has spun it. Yeah, no, that's a spin. Whether that impacts Finn's lap is going to be...
It shouldn't. It shouldn't.
It doesn't look like it will.
Yeah, Finn is very far behind here, but Senpai really struggling at the moment here. Looks like he's just going to let the McLaren through here, which is props to him. But probably not the spot where you expect drivers to pull over, but he does so, and he'll go back onto his merry way here. That is a purple sector there for Flying Finn. He might just be looking to try and go huge here, as Senpai has been taken out of the section.
I think he collected Dover there, maybe.
Oh, that would be huge, as Finn comes through, he will improve, and that's good enough for second place, 116.2.
Yeah, Dover's having problems in that second sector. Doesn't look like he had any wing trouble, just couldn't get the grip and swiveling around.
Yeah, that's odd, to say the least here, but in the meantime, Baz has gone back to the pits. He did post, obviously, the 116.3. Finn now into second, and he'll be heading to the pits as well. But Jackson still holding command here with a dominant 115.4, so he'll be looking to try and avoid some of the calamities he had at Montreal.
Well, that depends whether he gets a puncture or not. As well aboard now before we started his flying lap. See whether he can improve on his teammate, who unfortunately did just crash into the wall at the pit straight.
Panda as well is now on his flyer as well. He's making his way Well, he's only about a corner ahead of Max there, so let's see how he goes here. He's just getting up to the first sector. He's actually a little bit slower than his original flyer, so looking to try and catch up some time here through the second sector, maybe be a little bit more committed through the corners as he goes through the double right-hander very nicely there, all things considered here, although on the McLarens, I think that was Finn just taking his time getting back to the straight as Panda just breaks a touch there through sector 2. He runs over the curb, but he doesn't get hit for track limits violation there. Somewhat surprising, but yeah, look at that time. He slowed it down, so I think he'll be looking to go again here as we go back to Max. He's not that far off his first lap time, but he does need to improve through the stadium here. Into the final two corners, that sharp right-hander, massive locker, but able to keep things together here. Into the final corner, might be hard to improve. He actually does improve, but it's only by 300ths.
Yeah, not going to be enough here for Mr. Max formal casting von Neumann. So you have Dover going for his outlap again. Now it'll be interesting to see whether Baz decides to go out for another lap. He's comfortable with third.
Well, given the fact that, I mean, look how long that straight is. I actually think being in third would be a better position to be in. So, remember Valtteri Bottas in our last year's Russian Grand Prix?
Yeah.
So maybe he might be taking a bit of inspiration there from the Finn as Kata jumps him into third spot, but still on the second row for Baz, so that's still not bad for him there. One of the Haas's has spun it in at the start of sector 2, however. Should be able to rejoin without too much issue there. As Dover about to begin his flyer, but let's see if anyone's on a fast lap. Yep, nothing but tilt was. He's jumped up a few spots into a seventh position with a sub 17.
See how well Dover does. He's just starting his flying lap now.
I think Midnight might be on a flyer as well here, but he's hit track violations there, so fortunate for him. Focus crosses the line, but he doesn't improve. A 119
Tico's on a flyer.
Now.
He's actually doing pretty well. He's pretty decent actually at the moment.
Yeah, second off his first lap time here. Won't be enough for a pole, but might be enough for him to push up, maybe past Andy Ruin high, as yep, he does so into 10th position, beating the Red Bulls as well here, so.
Dover had a track on violation there. Going wide at the double right-hander.
And he's just cutting the corners trying to save fuel here now, so. Look, fair enough, but oh, that's unfortunate for Dover. But anyways, if he has enough fuel, he should be able to do one more lap here.
But now, Kata on a flyer actually.
Yep, Kata's on a flyer. I think Panda is starting. Well, he's actually improved slightly there, but it's not enough to gain positions. As Dover, well, he's had to abort and he'll be happy. Have to be happy with the 117.2. So probably going to be the final few cars here doing flyers. Tico, first one of those, but he's got a track limits violation, so for him, he will not be able to improve.
Kata had track limits.
Yep. So he has. So that's probably still good enough for 30 because I don't think Jackson or Flying Finn are out. Darkly might improve though. He's currently on his flyer, but he has gone a lot slower in his first and second sectors. So yep, he won't be improving here. Last few cars around will be Panda and the other alpha of CJ
Panda's
Winslow.
Approved.
Yes, he has. Let's see what he does in sector 2 as he keeps it together on the line. It will be 7/10 off as looks like Quirky's having his own little mare there in the background.
Plate fell.
Hate to see it, honestly, as Panda looks like he won't be improving on his time. So from pole in Montreal all the way down to 9th, that means the last driver around will be Mr. CJ Winslow. Will he improve? No, he's on track by limits, so that will be qualifying. Focus, the last one to go across, but he's got track limits and he's 11 seconds behind the pace, so that's how they will qualify Jackson to pick up pole.
Yeah, I mean, Jackson picking up pole, it's absolutely dominating. Like 8 attempts off everybody else. This race, the start of it could be interesting. I have seen people stuff up the start, and we've had massive crashes before the first lap. You see Focus just cutting the stadium corner there. Smashing into the wall.
Oh, that could have been horrid.
It's gonna go into the bits. Timmy not registering a time. That's interesting.
Yeah. Not sure what's up with Timmy there, but is he out on track? No, he hasn't. So just hasn't posted a lap here. So odd. But yeah, because Focus has gone into the pit, we are going to have to wait another 70 seconds for everything to wrap up, which is a bit annoying, but thank you very much, game. But anyways, yeah, Jackson and Flying could take out the first row, but Catalog and Baz in second row, so they'll be looking to try and get the draft early and maybe send it down the first corner here as we wait for cars. Well, there we go. The game finally says good enough, and yeah, everything's now confirmed.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the start of this race here. So, quickly go through the qualifying. So we have Jackson on pole with a 1:15.421 at the Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, I should say.
Rodriguez.
Never mind. Anyway, then we have
Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, then we have Flying Finn Catalog looking to open up the second row, followed by Baz, Darkly, Sinek Senpai, Nothing But Tilt, Dover, Panda, Tico, Basink, Formal, and the rest you can figure out on the next, because we're going into the race now.
Yep, heading into the race now. We'll have a formation lap, obviously. Might be interesting to see if cars just try to prep a line there for the first corner, but we will just wait for everyone to get their fuels ready to figure out what they want to do with tyres, and we should be good to go on that formation and then 35 laps around this wonderful track at Mexico City. But as we talked about earlier, downforce is going to be interesting because, I mean, you have a lot of high-speed areas, but especially through the second sector where you really need downforce, it's sort of hard to compromise on what you want to do.
So maybe we'll see, maybe we won't. Who has the better setup? But it seems to be Jackson at this moment, at least in qualifying. Race is a whole other different type of beast.
Yeah, I remember. It always feels like Baz normally has a faster race pace, so that's something that Jackson has to be very wary of. But in saying that, it would be somewhat poetic that the two cars who copped punctures in Montreal would win one, or would go 1-2 here in Mexico, as Winslow will start off the 30-second timer, and everyone's had about a minute or so to get ready. So if you're not ready, well, stiff shit as time begins to tick away here. Half the field now ready up. We're just waiting on the rest of the field to finalize their strategies, and the formation will begin.
9 seconds left. 3, 2, 1.
Ding.
Ding.
Well, there we go. Cars are now on the grid, and well, it'll be interesting to see what happens here. The game predicting a two-stopper here for most of the front row who have started on hard tyres. I'd be presuming everyone behind, well, everyone is looking like they're starting on softs here. Formal being one of them, as I believe starts to spill across the track here. But yeah, let's look at the tyres while we got the chance here. So, looks like a lot of people are looking for two stoppers here, with everyone except Formal, Focus, and Winslow being on the softs. Formal and Focus on mediums, and Winslow the only driver on hard, so he'll be looking to go long early on.
A bit of a bunch up in the backfield, it seems like.
Yep. And well, here's the thing with Jackson, maybe he might want to try and slow down the front because remember, tyres do cool down while you wait on the grid, so
Hey,
for
that's
him.
what David's holding up the back half of the field right now.
So
Seems
Nova
like.
looking to try and be a little bit sneaky here as one of the cars is having an awful time in formation. I think that is Midnight just dropping to the back of the pack there as he will be able to regain his position. Obviously, once we head towards the grid, as the leaders now head on to the final few corners, the AI will take control now and guide them to their positions on the grid. And after that, you just have to wait, and the cars will eventually be allowed to race for 36 laps.
Alright. Well, Jackson has got that, the racing line start being on the outside. So, it's going to be interesting to see how thin Baz and
Kata.
Yeah. Oh,
There we go.
sorry, had to start falling honest. Yeah, now I get the predicted stop strategy.
And here
Thanks.
we go. Lights turned on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. As quick as you like, and they're off here at Mexico. Jackson a really poor start there, and Finn immediately takes the lead here. But Baz is right on his coattails, and Jackson is able to get through eventually here. They're free, 4 wide here, heading into the first corner. Jackson still holding position, but Baz, he goes for the dive, and he doesn't hold on. There's a little bit of damage there as one of the Williams spin, but Jackson able to hold on, and there's a safety car straight off the bat. Jackson holds position, but Baz, the main beneficiary there, at the front of the pack, he gains 2 positions.
Yeah, Baz having a great start, as well as Darkly. Darkly coming from 5th.
And Timmy's out.
Timmy is out. Oh.
Oh, the poor man. He cannot seem to catch a break here, and yeah, just like that, he is out of the Mexican Grand Prix.
Oh, well, we do have the pit stop strategies opening up again. So it seems to be 2 softs into softs, and then either a quicker stop onto hards, finish off the race, and the other strategy to go a little bit later on the softs and go onto the mediums. Now what everybody decides to do is going to be interesting, as oh boy, now we have to wait everybody go through that delta on the long straight, and then we can finally catch up to the safety car.
Well, let's see if anyone decides to go for a very early pit stop here. None of the front markers look like they are here, so everyone happy to go on here. But I think one of the, I think that's Stover heading in for an early pit stop here. So along with Formal, who might be looking to drop the mediums if he's got the opportunity high as well, heading into the pit lane. Winslow as well, looking to try and serve off his 5-second penalty. And yeah, that's all the drives head into the pits. Tico as well jumps in at the last second. But yeah, apart from that, everyone now either catching up to the safety car or heading out of the pits.
Formal quickly swapping off the mediums and going on to softs here. Interesting to see as... Do you have cars catching up to the safety car now?
Now, something I want to see here is how safety car etiquette is today, because there has been times, like Azerbaijan, as I mentioned earlier, where, especially at restarts, the etiquette can be a bit, how do you do, but at the moment here the cars are just avoiding each other. No passing penalties for contact made under the SC, so that's good to see.
Everybody caught up pretty soon, actually.
Yeah, it's only just the later 4 drivers from pit stops who have yet to catch up, but they'll be allowed to go at full tilt to get back there in time for the restart. And while the safety car should be going around for at least one more lap here, as Jackson still just waits behind him here. So safety car probably in at the end of this 3rd lap, and from then we should be able to get back under race conditions.
So take a look, interesting at that field. You know, having Formal and Dover and Tico, or CJ as well, all the way in the back. I think they may have bumped into each other going through that first couple of turns, because I know Formal had a penalty.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Ooh.
Right. Oh, the both passes as well having contact here. Finn as well having a 5-second penalty, but I think that was earlier. But yeah, both the passes having a rough time there, and well, both of them now having 5-second penalties to deal with. And looks like Focus has damage as well, as the cars just slowly make their way through the what is a very slow section there for the safety car. But yeah, very unfortunate stuff for the Haasers, especially for Focus, who was, if I remember correctly, the last finisher at Montreal.
Hopefully we should have safety car come in this lap. Better come in this lap, otherwise it's going to be a very, very boring race.
Indeed, yep, there we go, safety car in this lap. Jackson now has control of the field, and he's still weaving about here, so he will allow the safety car to pull away here. He was leading one of the restarts at Azerbaijan, so it's good for him. Well, it's good to see him just slow the pack up a touch here and let the safety car go through. Then saying that the safety car's not really going as fast away as I would like, as Baz nearly checks in to Jackson, but Jackson looks like he might be playing with a little bit here as safety car into the pit lane here. There's single file around the corner. Jackson just holds up the field, hits the gas, so we're back up racing here, but he might just be a sitting duck to Baz, as well, he won't have the DRS, but he will have a lot of slipstream here. Jackson's still trying to warm up the tyres as much as he can, but Baz, he decides to line him up. He's going to go for the dive. Will he make it through there side by side? But Jackson just holds command early on. But Baz on the outside gets the position as Jackson hits the bumpers. Looks for the switchback, however. Then Jackson might just have the position back. Yes, he does. Baz has to fall right back behind him.
Brutal stuff there from
Meanwhile, Bassink is up to 5th.
Yeah, did manage to overtake Kata there, who I suspect may have some wing damage.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does. Oh, that's
look at this.
That's an ouch.
Kata's still fighting though. He's really wanting to try and get the position back, but eventually Baz will force the issue here through the second sector. And well, that could have been disastrous for Kata if he went too hard. He could have crashed into someone. Now he's losing positions. He has to go wide, and he begins to drop down the order here, all the way down to 11. Might even be 12 here as Midnight sides up an opportunity to overtake, and he will happily take so. But Kata, well, he goes wide and he forces Midnight off actually. So very defensive from Kata here as he looks to go to the pit lane.
Yes, Jackson will have the fastest lap. He is starting to get a bit of a gap onto Baz here. 1.2. People in DRS range are 6th, 7th, 4th. It's maybe, but DRS won't be available at least until next lap, as right aboard now with Sinex Senpai trying to get past Darkly here.
Just trying to get past, but without DRS it is a little bit tricky, so he'll just fall behind and wait for his opportunity to pounce. Bassink now trying to catch up as well, so might see a bit of a DRS train form next lap as, well, Bassink goes very wide there. Would probably get a warning from that from the stewards. That was nothing at all to catch back up to Bassink as well. But yeah, at the moment, the field just starting to spread out here. No one really with an opportunity to overtake them. Saying that, I think TK might have just done high there at the double apex.
Yeah, I think he did. Does set himself up now, so should have DRS happening when Jackson crosses this line, but he is losing Baz right now. Just 2 seconds right now for our leader Jackson.
Yeah, 119 as well, fastest lap. That's pretty good stuff for him there, as DRS should be available the next time they go for a DRS point. Obviously won't get it right now, but Darkly probably going to be the first one to be put under pressure in the front of the pack here. Sink Senpai isn't that far off him here, only about 600th of a second off here. Won't get DRS now, but he will do so heading into the back straight. Will only be used to probably just try and keep up with Darkly, but after that, who have it on the front straight and well. That is when we're going to see our first overtaking opportunity.
So you see Formal there trying to battle, trying to get past Monet here. Tries to go up onto the inside of that turn, but has to yield. To overtake Dover there as well. Have a bit of a battle happening here at the mid-pack.
And Roman Grossman really slowing down the backfield here as Formal and Dover look to try and overtake him here. Formal also take a little bit of evasive action there as Midnight hits the grass and might just allow an opportunity here for the Haas driver, but he goes so wide through. Won't be able to keep up here as... Well, here we go. Sinks has just overtaken Darkly here at Stadium, and I think he should have the advantage of the DRS as they make it through. No, he overtook Darkly just before the detection zone, so this could be some revenge here coming out from McLaren, quickly gaining on Sinks Senpai, and well, that's a slam dunk. We on the backfield here. Panda, he's had a moment here. I think he might have, he's gone into the pit lane here, and now Formal looking to overtake the Haas driver. He's gaining, but Roman Grossman also has DRS, so for Formal, he needs to wait until the second straight. Dover, that is very, very close there, and he is locking up till next Sunday now, losing a massive amount of time, and might just allow Hyde opportunity to go straight at him here as Max once again just can't catch up to Romain Grosjean, but Midnight able to hold position now as well here in ninth, but he is taking significant liberties at the corner here, really cutting through a lot, but look how wide he goes here. Might just open up an opportunity, but he has just enough pace to hold on here, Midnight.
Meanwhile, Sink Senpai in that third DRS zone, almost getting Darkly breaking into the stadium right now, but it's not going to be enough. Darkly just fending off as we go through that very slow chicane. Oh.
But now let's see who has DRS as they head into the straight, as a Sinks should have it, but he's had a bit of a trashy exit there into the last corner. Might just allow Darkly to possibly get away for the first straight, but look how much straight you have. It's about 2Ks here, or sorry, about 1K here at Mexico, as well, Sinks does catch up. It's not enough to catch him there for a dive bomb. Darkly does lock up though, so might provide an opportunity later on here as Formal has gone into the pits. There was a little bit of contact between him and Rosemont, so he might be looking to change his front wing. As once again, Sink Senpai just a bit too far back here. Darkly really locking up, however, and having to use the grass to try and slow himself down, so he's definitely not enjoying life here on these softs. They are starting to get fairly old here. Lap bait, we're not that far off from drivers dropping him off here in pit stops.
Start to see pit stops around about lap 9, maybe lap 10.
Actually, here we go.
See, as all around the corner, but it's not going to be enough here.
Yeah, Sinks is just too close in sector 2 to Darkly, because every time Darkly has to lift, so does Sinks, and he just loses all momentum here. So, well, he should have the overtake done and dusted here, you would have to say, on the straight, as Jackson, he continues to give away here. He's now having a 5.8 second gap to his name, but here we go. Sink Senpai now opens up the throttle switch, again overtake with DRS, and that's a thank you very much for him there, as Renault now lobs into third place once again, but behind him here, Bassing looking to try and find something there, overflying Finn. He gets the overtake done and dusted before the corner. Now in front of him here, nothing but Tilda's actually caught up to the battling Renault and McLaren.
Yeah, and it has DRS as well, so he's looking to pounce either Darkly and Sinks if they make a trip. But speaking of trip-ups, Flying Finn overtaking Bass there. As Dover will overtake Midnight.
Yeah, let's focus on nothing but Tutti for the moment, because you can just see Darkly, well, just really slowing down through these apexes. You'll see right here where he has to lift, and that forces nothing but Tutti into a tricky spot, really. He opens up the DRS now, but he runs out of ERS as well, so he won't be able to do the overtake here. He goes wide, just trying to find opportunity, with Darkly defending well, but I think he might start falling behind here, as he's really locking up into a lot of these corners, and with nothing but tilt right up his chuff, this should be an easy overtake, but no, they actually both fall into the pits for their second softs. Oh! Yeah, that's a VSC and nothing but tilt. He is, well, he's out. Oh
What
my
was
god.
that?
That is, I think Darkly pitted and then nothing but tilt was still going. I don't know, but well, you hate to see it if you're a Mercedes fan. Good, nothing but tilt is he's gone.
That was... I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you see, this is why you have to brake before entering the pit lanes, ladies and gentlemen, because you might go in full tilt, but if someone doesn't have pit limiter on, yeah, that happens. Ragnar picks up a VSC violation there, so he has to go in for a drive-through penalty. It's not that long, though, here in Mexico, so that is a benefit for him there, but you can still get caught out with how long this straight is, though, if you don't quickly get back up to speed. Anyways, no one really able to take advantage there of the VSC for a pit stop, so, well, maybe Darkly, but apart from him, Jackson now heading into the pits, he takes out one of the curves in the meantime, so you would have to presume Baz will look to do the same, though he's going to try and overcut Jackson here. Gap now 6.1 seconds as Baz crossed the finish line there, so be looking to try and at the very least decrease that gap once he makes it into his pit. Yep, both runners are now in, but the gap for things should be enough that he doesn't get affected. Yep, he goes quickly out. He's onto another set of stops. Midnight picks up a time violation penalty as well. Has a few more pit stops come through, this time being Ragnar, probably just serve his drive-through, and behind him, Hi.
Yeah, he's just serving his pit stop penalty at this moment as Bob here with Jackson, who is behind Andy Grew, who hasn't pitted yet. So is on the older softs. So Jackson's got to warm up these softs, and the overcut is going to happen. Actually, I think there may be enough space for the overcut to happen. If Andy Reid keeps on holding up Jackson, Baz may still keep the lead if he decides to go into the pits, which...
And Jackson finally gets it. But yeah, that's probably enough for Baz to at the very least close the gap down a little bit for him there. But yeah, I think we'll be hoping for Andy Reid to maybe held up Jackson until the end of that second sector. But now he heads into the pits. Jackson just making his way into the final few corners here. So, well, actually, Baz now going to mediums here. So, will be a change of strategy here. Bassing continues on for one more lap, but Jackson takes the advantage here. Let's see what the gap is once we get to the first corner. But no, it looks like Jackson's able to still get an effective undercut. Yeah, that is a massive undercut as Dover now goes past here on his fine lap old mediums. But yeah, that overcut has failed there for Baz, who's now about 7 seconds behind Jackson.
But even 8 seconds more.
Yeah. Getting close to 9 actually now.
Yeah. But we'll see. Stover still has yet to go in, so is Bassing. So we'll get a more clearer picture once we see that
Jackson
pit stop.
now being held up here behind Bassing, but let's see if Bassing will defend as much as Andy Reid did, as Jackson looks to try to get past the Red Bull now, won't be able to here. He nearly runs into his backside, but will eventually get the overtake done there in that short little DRS zone, as Bassing will just fall behind him here. But yeah, a massive loss of time there for Baz, who stays out for one more lap on the softs, and well, looks like he's going to lose about 2 seconds from it here.
Is definitely a do have Jackson taking the fastest lap here of the race.
But saying that, though, I think Senpai has just been able to get the fast lap as well, and he's actually right behind Baz here. Might be an overtake position within a lap or two here, as Baz looks to just try and dive from his teammate here. Will be able to do so this time around without too much kerfuffle. But yeah, so that should just allow Baz now to try and just recover here to catch up to Jackson somehow. I remember he is on medium, so we're looking to go a bit longer than his opponent.
And we'll see how much time he can make up during that. As look around. around. There's not really too many overtaking here. So I actually may have high on CJ. Looks like nothing may come from those.
Nah, too far back.
Yeah. Flying Finn versus Tico. Finn has caught up in the second DRS zone. I think too far away.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Other than Six Sempo's looking to overtake Dover, but Dover may be just be going into pits pretty soon, so...
Not for another few laps on its mediums. I think he's just trying to block him off. Block Sing Senpai off so he can't really catch up to Dover for the next few laps. I mean, he's doing that well here, but Dover should be sitting in dunk. He actually gets a pretty good exit, however, but yeah, that DRS should make this a slam dunk overtake here for Sing Senpai as Dover goes to the outside line, forces Sings to go inside, and well, it doesn't really matter. Straight pass and has the full car length.
Yeah, almost like 2 car lengths there. So you head into the first corner there. Dover, what can he do now? His tyres are starting to, show signs of degradation. Do you have Flying Finn and Tico finally going across the start-finish straight? Can Finn do anything here? DRS is open. He is looking to go on the inside maybe, but I think there's just too much space. Not enough space here for him to try and overtake him. Has to settle back in behind Tico.
We'll have another opportunity here though in the second straight, but might just be a tad too far behind with being 3/10. So he will gain though. He might be in a position to dive bomb if he wants to do so. Yeah. He goes through it here. He locks up, but he makes the corner work there. So a nice overtake there from Finn. Quickly dealing his fellow league car. So right, Tico nearly just taking him out there, but Finn just having enough of a gap there to not have to worry about that.
Sinex overtook Dover. Dover did go into the pits.
That's
as well. Okay.
Look how quickly he's caught up to Baz. This is huge for him here, and he might even look for a dive bomb. Softs against mediums. There is yellow flags at the end of the first sector. That being for one of the Haasers. I think that is Focus who might have just spun it off there. But here we go. Sing Senpai right up Baz's backside here. He's going to go for the inside line. Baz won't have enough pace to carry it through. And it's going to be a Renault 1-2 as Sing Senpai gets past Baz at the start of the second sector at lap 15.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there from Sinks. Spasic will get a 3-second penalty. Track limit violations. Looking to see it. Oh, okay, it's just blue flag. So I was thinking, why is there a yellow flag right there? As Sinex actually gets a 3-second penalty, and actually Baz is technically in second right now. He just needs to stay in time here. He knows that it's just a waiting game here. TK will get a 3-second penalty as well.
And plus Baz is also on mediums, while Senpai's softs will eventually wear out a bit quicker than those yellow wall tyres. So Baz just needs to keep a respectful distance to the Renaults, and he should be in a good enough spot to overtake him when the time comes. But yeah, for now for Baz, we'll be looking for one more pit stop a bit later on. But he'll be looking to try and draw out these mediums as long as he can. He already got an extra lap of usage out of him for now, but let's see if he can get even more. But something we know for sure is Jackson, he's just skipping away at the moment, even after the safety car. It still has a 12.6 second gap over his teammate, and well, he finally might avoid the troubles of traffic, and he might finally get his first well-deserved win.
Okay, well, let's take a look. We do have Kata overtaking Tico to get 11th place. Finn dropping, taking that place at 10, and now trying to fight against Formal. He's less than a second behind here, and there is a bit of traffic around them, so they do have to be careful here.
Yeah, they do, and look at this. Formal is also on hard, 7 lap-old hards as well here, so for Finn, who's on the softer mediums, this could be a nice little overtake for him here. But he can't be behind for too long, as it looks like on the Haasers has spun it in Sector 2.
No, it was just slowing down.
However. Okay, all good, then we continue on. There's a yellow in Sector 3, however.
Yeah, Andy Room passing, it seems like.
Yeah, maybe they've gone to blows here, but look how quickly Finn has caught up to Formal here. Should be yet another easy overtake as soon as they get through. Onto the main straight as Focus picks up yet another penalty for himself there. Formal trying to skip away as much as he can, but this is not looking too good for him here. As DRS opens up on that McLaren, and Finn is about to quickly reel him in here, but maybe Max just has enough of a gap here.
Yeah, it seems like he lost a little bit of time for that last corner. And Max just able to hold on here.
Oh, that's not good though. Taking he's on the grass, and just like that, it's going to be Finn right on his coattails here, looking to try and quickly gain up. Will there be enough room for a dive bomb? He goes for it. Maxwell locks up harder than Finn does, and that'll be the McLaren taking the 8th position away from Foreman.
Brilliant stuff there from Finn as he overtakes Baz. Now has to work his way up to Formal's teammate Basim, who has got a 3-second penalty to deal with, so we'll be looking for that. Panda actually looking to overtake Dover here on the start-finish straight. DRS opening up now.
And they're both on pretty old tyres respectively here. But for Panda, with those softs, he's able to just edge out the 15-lap old mediums. And well, for Dover, I think he'll be looking to try and trade those in as soon as he can, because those tyres are really starting to affect him here. But same can go for Panda here. He can drop the softs now and look to probably go into hards to end the race. But yeah, Panda, for the meantime, he has 4th position in his bag.
And well, speaking of Formal, getting overtaken there by Kato, who should be on the fresher tyres.
Yep.
There we go.
But it's only about 6 laps difference, so it's not huge comparatively for the hards, but yeah, still good for Kato to get up to 9th position.
Potentially Regal going for another one. Overtake, but doesn't look like he has enough. Trying to overtake Romain, aka Monty. We should be getting into the last couple of laps here for the softs for the Renaults. So.
Oh, yellow flag. That is a McLaren or Mercedes that has spun it here.
Andy
I think that's yeah, who's on the fresh mediums as well here. So just has to let the leader pass there, and he'll go back onto his merry way. Meanwhile, a bit further up here, Ragnar just defending from Money here. Ragnar holding position for now, but unless he can build a bit of it, well, he's actually got enough of a gap now that even if Money did pick up DRS, it won't really be a factor, as Midnight gets another 3-second penalty there for track violations. And yeah, for now, looks like the rest of the field is fairly split up, apart from maybe Dover and Darkly. As Andy Root spun it again. Has to be careful though, nearly making contact with a Midnight.
And does have to give way to Sinks behind him. So, take a look across this board. We do actually have Kata catching up to Finn. Just a little bit, just under a second. Just, I don't know whether it's close enough for the DRS detection zone. Well, I guess we'll see.
Won't be close now, but he should be in range past Stadium. So, if he can catch up another few hundredths a second, he might be able to get Finn with a dive bomb at the start, or at the end of the straight. But for now, only about 8 tenths back, so we'll use it to reel Finn in, but he won't be able to do it and get 8th position for him until now. Meanwhile, Bassick, though, has been able to take the position away from Panda, who's rejoined. He will fall back to 9th, but he's on mediums now, apparently to the end here. So, yeah, he should be able to get these positions back quite quickly, but he will need to wait for the opportune time.
Now the question is, what time does Jackson pit?
Well, he has a 14.5-second interval now here. He probably just goes on to mediums, and unless we have a late safety car. That's probably going to be the race all but done for him there. I think Senpai continues to build the gap over Baz, but I highly doubt Baz will be going through to the end of the race on these mediums. So, yeah, these are probably going to be a few, well, most of the front will be looking to pit stop once again. Dover dives into the pits this time around. 17 laps of mediums, probably at the limit, and I think he's going to going on to another set of the yellow walls. Yes, he will. Soft, medium there for Dover.
Okay, interesting. We didn't go for a second set of softs.
Nah, he has to go soft, medium. That's the, yeah, it wouldn't be able to make it through until softs unless it was a good safety car, so. Yeah, so for Dover, he'll be looking to just try and get a few more positions here with the fresher rubber. Meanwhile, for Panda, he's just keeping in contact with Kata, but it looks like he might just be caught at the back end of the DRS train, so could be an issue for him there. Few more cars making their way through the pits though, Tico and Money being the ones to do so, and well, there we go, Jackson now going into the pits, going on to mediums. We'll have to use those 14 laps, so yeah, for Jackson, just needs to ride clearly for the rest of the race, and that should be that done. Ooh, this is...
Baz just overtakes him.
So, yeah, Baz should be, won't be pitting for the next few laps, so he might be able to slow Jackson down to a point where it might bring, I think, Senpai back in to a position where he could win, but he now has to try and overtake Darkly here. Not a bit of a gap, however, but... And now, yeah, Jackson should have lead in the straight in a few laps' time, unless Baz really throws out some huge blocks.
Well, it's interesting. We are heading into the third DRS, so not really an overtaking opportunity. Yes, what the? So we go into Jackson, going through stadium right now. Chris, are you still there?
Yes, I am still
okay.
here.
I was scared you dropped again.
No, I'm just a little tired,
Oh.
That's all, as Jackson, he's side by side with Baz. It should be a slam dunk for him here.
It's
Baz
before
just holding
DRS.
position here. Yeah, it was before DRS, but eventually we'll get the overtake done. Baz just get a little bit of the slipstream, but won't be too much as Aniru bins it there at the front straight, and I think he's actually might just be retiring from the race.
Yeah, I think he's just retiring from the race there.
Yeah.
Fortunate for him. Yeah. But also a little bit unlucky here for Jackson. He has got a little bit of traffic ahead of him. And they're not really starting to pull over for him. So Baz could decide to sneak on in, but looks like one of the Alphas able to head over the position back to him.
Yeah, we'll eventually get past that traffic, and Baz do the same though. Won't really mean too much here as, well, they're having a fight here up in front of him, so they're not probably going to be worried about Baz for the moment, and yeah, that's going to be really huge stuff there as all. There was a bit of contact there, and that just allows Baz straight through, so he works out for Baz eventually, but yeah, he's lost a heck of a lot of time here. I'm not sure if he has DRS, because if he had Alpha does, then Alpha might conceivably come back at Baz.
Yeah, maybe.
But nah, he's a bit too far back for that.
Yeah.
But that Alpha as well, now having damage, I think that is a Midnight. Yeah, Midnight with the medium walls high. The last man remaining on the softs. So yeah, he will have a fair bit of damage to deal with now, Midnight, as Amani looks to try and regain position back. Won't be able to do so just yet here. But meanwhile, back towards the front of the pack here. Bassick looking for an opportunity to overtake Flying Finn. He gets alongside, and the man with the fresher hearts should get this overtake done. Yep, he does so easily here. And he should be able to skip away here with his own DRS. Right behind him though, bit of a train forming once again here. Panda now leading it here. Kata right behind him, followed by Dover. Dover looking for a chance to overtake Kata, who was a little compromised out of the first few corners, but that DRS just enough to help Kata there through the end of the first sector. Didn't know, he actually regained position back on Baz just while we're talking there, and Sinks is able to finally get rid of Darkly, so yeah, a bit of happenings here up at front, but for the true man up front here for Jackson, it's turning into a bit of a Sunday drive here with a little bit of traffic to deal with, but yeah, he only has 11 more laps to get go, and he will have his victory in the bag.
Yeah, it does look like it. As Baz might have to pit.
He will have to pit again.
Yeah.
And oh, here we go.
VSC.
VSC, and that's Winslow now out of the race here. Looks like there's been a bit of blows there at the end of sector 2 involving, Ragnar here. So Ragnar now just looking to just take the shortcuts around the top of sector 2, but this could be huge for Baz here, as one of the Red Bulls comes in, and will be Formal coming in for his final pit stop, and that is perfect time for him there. He gets onto softs, and he won't lose any positions here. Meanwhile, Panda and Kata have come to blows here. And I think that was Kata.
Oh!
Kata has just driven straight into Panda, and he gets yet another penalty for that there. And Kata is out of the session from it here. He has had enough.
I mean, that was just really late braking there from Kata, where Panda already had the line. It was already turning in to start the corner.
Yeah, he just drives straight on. Something interesting though, Baz is actually pitted there. He probably could have done so, but goes against it here as apparently we're back on the green flag conditions here, but we're still yellow flags across the field. There we go. Now just like lost sector 2, and we're back on the greens here as Baz doesn't take the opportunity to pit. If he does, he probably gets the full pit stop under VSC, which would have been huge. Now Darkly coming in for his final pit stop as well, getting onto the soft, but will lose a heck of a lot of positions there.
He does manage to give Flying Finn fall off, but Basing is right behind him.
Yeah, as I believe that's just Midnight, just giving those positions away there, as Basing now just looking to try and at very least get behind him there.
I know it's impossible, but Baz can get within 6 seconds of Jackson, he will win the Grand Prix based off penalties, but he has to pit, and that's the problem.
And that's what I was saying earlier. If he pitted then, he's probably, he's not that far off behind.
No, he's pitting now.
Really. Yeah, he pits now, but just have to wonder if he went that lap earlier. Is he going on to softs? Okay, so that's a bit more understandable, but still, having that better pit stop probably a bit more beneficial than losing maybe 2 seconds on the field. So that might just cost him there, Baz, but anyhow, he's now out here as a bit of drama there in sector 3.
Yeah, Baz.
Panda coming in.
Yeah, Panda looking to take a bite out of that cherry pie. He's going up behind Basing right now. Actually going to overtake it before Teres. No, he's got to get the slipstream though. Goes straight on the inside. Can he pull it through?
Yes,
I think he can. Does he want to go and overtake Finn as well? No, he's just decides to stay behind him. We have one of the Haas's once again going off. That'll be Monet as well. I think just trying to give Jackson the position there.
And here we go, Panda dive bombing Finn here. And Finn, he locks up and he runs straight into Panda's back there. Panda now still has to fight though with Finn, because Finn has the inside line, but eventually Finn will have to acquiesce to Panda. And Panda gets 4th position here, and now he is very vulnerable to an attack from Basing. He gets up on side, but he won't be able to pull the stop off though. Finn now takes the inside line, and Baz says, thank you very much for that.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed. So We are heading into the last couple of laps. 8 laps left at the Autodromia Hermano Rodriguez here in Mexico City. And now it's just a battle. See whether actually that's still in second from penalties from Sink Senpai, so he'll still be able to claim second here, but it's that gap to Jackson, and it is 21, 27, 28 seconds here for Mr. Baz.
And if Bass can just get a safety
Darkly
car
having
now.
taken Bassink there.
Yeah, it's a nice server take as well from Darkly, but especially on the fresher rubber here, he'll be looking to try and catch up to Panda as best as he can. Does have a 2-second deficit to try and overcome, but he will be on better salts for a long while here, so he might be able to sneak into 4th position. But as I was going to say earlier, if Baz can just find a safety car now, that'll be huge, as one of the Renaults went off there, and that is Sink Senpai, and just like that, Basic just gets his position back just like that. Oh, that's unfortunate for Sink, as yeah, he's just lost position.
Unfortunate for him, but Gaines. Oh, actually, he's going to leave the session.
That's internet issues then.
Yeah.
That would explain why he went off.
Oof.
And that could just open things up for Panda as well, because remember, you are run by AI while you are offline, so Panda can quickly catch up to Sink. He might be in a position to snare a podium here, but Darkly as well, thinking the same thing. And look at this, these softs are on fire at the moment. The gap was what, 2 seconds half a lap ago?
Oh,
now
Jackson
it's
got
an
another
easy
3-second
overtake.
penalty.
Yeah, Jackson with another penalty here, but that shouldn't be enough.
No,
to
it's
get
28
over the
seconds.
9 seconds. But yeah, that just makes a safety car so much more needed here for Baz, as Sink Senpai rejoins, only loses about 2 or so seconds to Darkly now, but Darkly with the softs, he will be able to catch up to Senpai, you would have to say, before the end of this race here, so this could be somewhat huge here for the final spot on the podium.
Alright, well. Actually, Darkly will be in 3rd.
Yeah, look at how quickly he's quickly catching up though.
Yeah.
These softs are on fire.
Hopefully not literally on fire.
Yeah, I mean, if that happens, I think we might have to investigate Pirelli. But anyhow, Darkly, he probably won't get DRS here, but he should get some slipstream. So, yeah, he's really catching up to Sink Senpai now, and yeah, it's really forcing him into a tricky spot here. 1.46 gap here, but Senpai slightly better exit there out of the final corner, and he'll be able to scoot away a little bit.
Scootering their way across. What else can they find here? It just depends. But it doesn't look like he might find anything. He has just kept at this 1.4 time for quite a while. Not being able to get. Yeah, okay, now you're starting to catch up. But slowly.
Yeah. But slow but steady. But if he gets to the 1 second, that's the most important thing. If he can get DRS, then he can really reel him in. But having a bit of a tank stopper there won't help. But yeah, through these corners, you'll really see these softs start to come to their own as the gap slowly starts to increase once again here. So Darkly not confident, and just like that, the gap's back out to 1.4. Does have a bit of pace out of the corner, but maybe needs to send it in a bit more just to take full advantage of the red walls.
A little bit of a lag happening there as Baz gap to Jackson now down to 30 seconds. It's actually going to be interesting to figure out who finishes up where, because there is a lot of penalties. Baz the only clean racer in this entire race at the moment.
Yeah, well, that probably comes down to practice. I don't think a lot of drivers had too much practice here at Mexico, so yeah, it's not surprising to see so many warnings, but tell you what though, Darkly, he's been able to wipe a fair chunk of that deficit out here. He keeps within the 1 second gap right now through Sector 2. Well, DRS becomes an option, but he locks up there. But he keeps up and actually has a tighter line than Sink Senpai. through the corners, and well, yeah, the gap's closed down a little bit again, but for Senpai, it's still just in the breathable zone.
Mm.
But saying that though, finally, that gap is really starting to shrink. As soon as I say that, it blows out. Okay.
I mean, it's not going up enough that he's net losing time. He's actually net gaining time over a lap, so it may only just be like 1,000th of a second here per lap, but isn't going to be enough as we are in the last 4 laps.
Nah, he's keeping it best, but losing at worst for some of these corners. So there's a bit of traffic in front of Senpai, which might benefit Darkly here with the Haasers, just running nose to tail at the moment. So yeah, if Sync gets caught up in that a bit too quickly, that could open it up for Darkly. But yeah, for the moment, Darkly just paddling here as he tries to claw into third place.
Yeah, and he will be able to because of the penalties. It looks like with Syncs.
Oh, yeah. So he just needs to hold the gap here then.
Yeah. Well, he needs to hold the gap. He could have a 6-second gap and he'll still be in second. But Panda gets another 3-second penalty. Panda's on 20 seconds worth of penalties.
Jesus Christ. And oh, there's some contact there as the Haasers gets a bit of a love tap there from Darkly. I'm surprised Darkly doesn't get a penalty there, but anyhow, he's actually closed the gap up enough to get DRS down the short back straight, and well, that could just be enough for him to get the 1-2 DRS at the front in the second.
Yeah, it seems to be already down to 0.8. Oh, that's the detection zone. No, he won't have it.
But the gap is slowly closing. He actually gets a pretty good exit as well, so if he can just keep up with Sync through this next lap, he might have every possible. But Sync does have DRS, but he's still technically carrying Darkly through. He still gathers a fair bit of time, and well, Sync is still behind the pass here, so it might just allow Darkly to take position on the track as they come through the second here. The Haas eventually pulls out of the way, but Darkly, he's got to go for it, and oh, that's contact there. Sync has just sent the Polo Haas into the wall, and look, you're overtaking him, but you can't be doing that, mate.
Yeah, it's a bit poorly there, as fortunately the camera angle there didn't show really good impact. As sure, we'll have some words at the stewards meeting later today.
But yeah, for now, the very least, so Darkly another 10th closer here to Sync, and well, I'd be very shocked if he loses a second gap now through Stadium as they make their way through the apexes here. He's actually gaining a little bit here. We'll have finally enough to get DRS down the back straight. Now let's see what he can do with the exit, as there is a yellow flag in sector 3, that being for the Haasers. If you're not really that surprised here, probably both of them now heading into DRS. Yes, he's got DRS here, but he's going to be a bit too far away here early on, so we'll probably look to try and get him in the second as look at this line from Sync Senpai, really taking it wide, but it's going to be effective enough, but can he hold on to third place now as look how close Darkly is here, looking to try and dive bomb it at the start of sector 2. Doesn't even need to dive bomb there. He has a position, slam, bang, right in the middle of his hands, and that'll be third place here as Senpai now gets the 12 seconds of penalties.
Yeah, may even be Bassink in 4th? No, 12.
No.
Hey, like I said, the penalties really mess up our predictions.
So, tell you what, Dover might actually sneak into top 5 here.
Yeah, actually, he may be able to. Hell, maybe even top 4.
Nah, too far of a gap for top 4, Mike.
7, 8.
Because it'll be touch and go.
Yeah.
Anyhow, let's just have a look at Jackson here. Yep, he's still running. He's just starting his way for the last time through sector 2. Oh, that would be absolutely cruel if that happened. But...
Hey, you know how we said the 2 people who got punctures in Canada get 1-2? Well...
yeah, we've called it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. Well, it's good for them to get their positions back here.
Yeah.
So Yeah, that's good for them to see. But for now here, Darkly, a 3-second penalty, will just grip onto third place. For now, Sing Senpai looking to try at the very least hold off and fourth from possibly Dover, but that gap is very touch and go at the moment here. Dover at the very least looking likely to pick up 5th place, so that would be huge for Ferrari getting the 2-5, just like Red Bull did last race at Canada. And yeah, Jackson now onto his final lap here, and well, you can tell how dominant he's been. Both Darkly and Sync have not made it through to Sector 3 as of yet on the penultimate. They just crossed the line now.
Yeah, they are just crossing the line, and well, we're right aboard with our race leader Jackson as he takes us through the Autodroma Hermano Rodriguez.
Hernando.
There's no D in there.
Oh, no.
It's Hermano. Hermano Rodriguez.
Let me you for a minute, sir.
Do you want
Yes,
me?
you are right.
Yes.
But Rodriguez is still a bit
Rodriguez,
iffy. Anyways,
yeah.
Jackson
Yeah.
makes his way into the third and final sector here through the stadium where the confetti will start to shoot up. And there we go. Jackson into the final few corners here. He has driven an unbelievable race. Even with the safety car, he has a full pit stop over Baz on the track. He comes through the final corner and he dominates the Mexican Grand Prix, takes it out in an absolute canter. Baz now, he enters the stadium for the final time as well, as looks like there won't be any last gasps overtake here. Maybe Darkly and Senpai, but it won't matter too much on the board as Baz makes his way through to cross the line, and he will finish up in second. Focus, just another 3-second penalty for him on the road home. Tika also finishes up in 10th, Midnight in 14th. Darkly and Sinks now make their way through, and this is a big one here. Has Dover done enough to sneak possibly into 4th place? 5th place looks all but assured here, but the timer clicks down now. Dover, he's making his way through the final corner. Has he done enough to defy the penalties? He has! Dover snaps 4th position by a full second and a half. Actually, pretty much 1.6 seconds over Sink there. Bassing comes in 6th. Panda into 7th. Finn probably comes through for 8th, and Formula 9th. Last driver over the line will be Muddy. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your finishing positions here at the Mexico City.
Da, 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 da. But yep, marvelous race by this person, Jackson. As we will look into
getting the interviews going, and Ragnar with a driver of the day. Yeah.
Interesting. As hopefully we'll get the transition back. As, oh my god, Chris's face looks really weird as yeah, we do look back at the podium. Congratulations to both the drivers.
Or Fro drive.
Yeah.
Look, if one of the drivers could actually race like real and control at the same time and get a podium, they need to be a pro, not gonna lie. Or at the very least, Jimmy Broadbent in his shed, so. Anyways, we will be getting the drivers in very, very shortly. Might even just drag them out of their little garages, but for now, we just wait to see where the hell they are.
Jackson at Baz. Who was third?
Third was yes. It was who you call it? So
Darkly.
Sorry, Darkly. Oh yeah, big, pretty good race here. Safety car, a few what the hell incidents here, but yeah, apart from that, good racing as won't be that far off from the interview. So
yeah.
yeah, we'll just wait for everyone to populate down, and we'll jump over. Well, 3 of them are there, so let's go.
Let's go. All right, guys, we are here with hopefully our top 3 if Darkly can come in, and our driver of the day, Rhaegar. First of all, Jackson, how are you feeling after taking out the the Mexican Grand Prix?
Nearly quirky.
Nearly.
So, anyway, yeah, it's great, dude. I'm so happy, especially after what happened in Canada. So happy to get the win in Mexico.
Yeah,
tell you what, after last week as well, with all the calamities there,
Yeah.
Jackson, that is finally something's come
Yes.
together for you, and you've got to get another win for the Renos.
Yeah, it's good, eh? Last week in Canada, dude, it was all a mess, and yeah, I finally got a win in Mexico. Yeah.
Baz, coming out of a disappointing Canadian Grand Prix, how are you feeling after bouncing back and taking second?
Yeah, very happy. Again, it sucks my fullest record is down the toilet now. I was one of the last surviving members, but it's all right. Managed to salvage what I can out of Canada anyway with that 7th place spot. But very happy with the 2nd place, and obviously getting my boy Dover to 4th as well. Very, very happy so far. Hopefully that should keep us on the top after this weekend, as I know it definitely will do for the driver standings, but constructors, I'm hoping that keeps us just ahead of McLaren so far. The McLaren was obviously scary as always, so definitely trying to keep an eye out for these guys as much as possible. Good run overall. Very happy with it. Jackson was way too fast on Mexico. I might have to check the car or something afterwards.
Yes.
No, in all seriousness, it was a good race. I really enjoyed it, so I'm very happy with the end result.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And well, here comes Darkly as well coming in at 3rd place in Mexico. Pretty interesting race for yourself, Darkly.
Yeah, it was. I was quite nervous at the start racing Sinks because he gave me a bit of wind damage at the start, and I was much slower than him. But I had a strategy planned for like the late race, and that really came through for me in the end.
Last but not least, Rhaegar, our driver of the day for Mexico. So how were you feeling during that race?
So my game plan after qualifying so badly was just avoid the carnage early, stay solid, and not make any mistakes. I did one of those 2 things well. Made a couple of mistakes, but luckily for me, just kind of stayed solid for the most of it and salvaged what I could.
Yeah, and it seemed like you also had a pretty quiet race as well, Ragnar. Did you avoid most of the drama?
I had a bit of a run-in with CJ in the in one of the last few laps, but other than that, it was pretty Sunday driving, just doing time trials.
So yeah, any other things you want to say, guys, before we?
You want to ask us about going into next weekend and where we go from here? Well, too bad. I'm gonna answer it anyway.
Yeah.
Do you want to cast next weekend, Baz?
Well, I seems I'm doing the interview job myself now, so maybe we'll see.
We got Temple Speed
yeah.
and the test track.
I'm very keen for these races. Monza especially. Turn 1 Epic boys. It's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to see it. But in all seriousness, I'm keen for both these tracks I got. It's going to be good for me because I think, especially after going off some of the Formula 1 specific tracks, going to tracks that I've done a good experience on from playing a ton of other driver sims and that as well. I'm very comfortable on these tracks, so I'm hoping we can get hopefully Dover's first on top 3 spot. I'm very happy we can do that, but I think we're going to do really well in the Ferrari garage, definitely for Monza.
Any other drivers want to chime in with that? How they're feeling for next week?
Looking forward to it. It's gonna be good.
I'm expecting at least 3 safety cars on Monza.
Everyone going into the road of failure will just be crashes, let's face it.
Look, think of how bad Baku was.
Yes. Hey, in which case, maybe I should drive around Monza as well, get another win. Anyways, thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your wins and drivers of the day.
Thank you.
Cheers,
And
guys.
no worries. And for myself and Quirky, that's going to be the stream done for us as well. So we'll see you same time, same place, 5 o'clock AEST next Sunday. But for now, goodbye. And if you're playing F1 as well, make sure you're not smashing it into the first corner.